Namaskar friends. Today we will talk what God said about himself, who he was. Let me remind you friends that singular hymn, singular verse, Ko tadarsa prathama jayamana, who has seen him firstly manifesting himself as a live lump of flesh, blood and bones. Two questions were submitted before the God. One question related to man, God's place in man. We have discussed that. Another question I had told about was the sages wanted to know who he was. Accordingly, we will first start with that hymn which said that the sage was extremely ignorant of what he knew. And God was so moved by his submission that he began to tell about himself. What the humble submission of the sage was? Nabi janami jadi bedamasmi. I do not know, Lord, what is what. Ninno sanidho manasacharami. What in mind I have decided to be correct. Accordingly, holding it in my mind, I am roaming throughout the world. I am moving. Manasa charami, manasa, in my mind, by my mind, charami, moving. Nabi janami jadi bedamasmi. Ninno sanidho manasa charami. Jadamagan pratamaja rutasya bacho asnube bhagamasya. When the truth will come to me for the first time into this living frame, I will then consecrate myself, devote myself to the voice of the Vedas. Nabi janami jadi bedamasmi, nirnyo sanidho manasa charami. Nirnyo, what has been decided in my mind. This verse, friends, you please mark, it combines a sense of ignorance, a submission of helplessness, also a submission of humility, utter humility before God. I do not know anything. That verse said, I am premature in knowing things. This verse says, I am totally ignorant of what I should know. These three things are essential for a human being if he wants to learn something new. Without humility, there is no knowledge. Entire drama of Shakespeare, you will find, friends, humility throughout, all through the 35 to 36 dramas. So God is moved by humility, man's humility to know. And God said, Aham manurabhavam. I was the Manu. Who is this Manu, friends? From Manu we have come, mankind. He is the mind-born son of Brahma, the creator. Brahma created him from his mind only to produce and propagate the human race, a race called man. That is why you will find, friends, the word man in different languages must be synonymous with some sort of MN. Manu, ahang manurabhavam, surjaschaham. I was the first son. I manifested myself also as the first son. Surjaschaham. Kokhivan Rusi. I am Kokhivan Rusi. Kokhivan was the first sage who sang the Samaveda in the best possible way. Kokhivan Rusi. Rasmi Vipraha. Rasmi, Rusi, Asmin Vipra. In Sanskrit language, this is Sandhi, join words, is very important. Kakkhivang Rusi, Rasmi Vipraha. I was the first Vipra. Vipra means person, the human being who knows the Vedas perfectly well. I am Kakkhivang Rusi. I am the person who knew first the Vedas perfectly well. Aham Kustamarjuneyam. I am Kusta. Arjun is son Kusta. I am Kusta, son of Arjuni. Nirunjaham, utterly self-fulfilled. Ni means extreme, absolutely. Nirunjaham. Runje means self-fulfilled. I am completely self-fulfilled. I am absolute. Aham, what he said, Kusta. About this Kusta, there is no reference here. But in Sukta number, hymn number 26 of Mandala 6, verse number 3, there is a reference to this Kusta. Tong Kustaya Susnang Dasuse Fark. You cut to pieces Susma, the demon, to give protection to Kusta. Kusta was a great devotee of the Lord, and he was the best performer of Yajna. He faced a terrible attack from the demon Susma, and God cut this Susma to pieces. God says, I am that Kusta. To cut that demon, I was incarnated to that devotee, Kusta. Aham Kustarjayam Nirunjayam Kabir Usana Pasoyada Ma. I am Usana. Usana is the first poet, divine poet, celestial poet. Also consider me to be that Susana. Aham Manurabhavam Surjastaham Kakkhivang Rusi Rasmi Vipraha Aham Kustamarjunayam Nirunjeham Kabir Usana Pasoyadama. God said this. God is introducing himself gradually. Then friends, you mark please, why God entered into the human frame as the super soul? Because we human beings are direct descendants from God. You can compare the view of man propagated by different philosophies, different religions. In every sphere you compare. But it is only here you will find that man is a direct descendant of God himself. Brahma created Manu for the propagation of human race, to create a special species called man. This is the view. Then God next tells of himself. Ahom Indram Varunaste. I am Indra. Here he is saying, the gods which you are worshipping every day in your yajna, I am that being. I am simply, those gods which you worship are simply executive manifestations of my creation. Executive heads. Indra is an executive. God of fire is an executive. Marut is one executive. Aham Indram Varunaste. I am also Varuna. Aham Indra Varunaste. Mahi to Orbi. Mahi, earth. To Orbi, sky. Mahi to Orbi. Gavire Rajase Sumeke. Gavire. I am the sea. I am the depth of the sea. Gavire Rajase Sumeke. Rajase, this expressive world. Tosteva Viswa Bhuvanani Vidwan Samerayang Rojosi Dharayacha. Like toaster, I make everyone animated. They are created, but animation part is mine. Toaster creates, toaster is tosar. He creates living beings and the world. But animation part is mine. I am just toaster. Chamerayang Rojosi Dharayoch. Rojosi, those days there was a belief in the antiquity that this earth has been propped up by 4 pillars. And God says, I am that Rojosi, those 4 pillars. I uphold the earth. Aho Mindrang Barunaste Mohitorbi Gavire Rajasi Sumeke Tostev Viswa Bhuvanani Vidwan Samarayang Rojosi Dharayat. So, friends, with this much we hear today. With that, I close the oration.